बारवहंतारको वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको नाना शास्त्र विचारनेक निपनो षड्धर्म संस्थापको लोकानामित कारुणा त्रिभुवने मन्यौ शरण्यकरो राधा कृष्ण पदारविंद भजना नंदेन मत्तालिको वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको श्री गौरांग गुणानुवर्णन विधो श्रद्धा समृद्धिन्वितो पापोतापनीत कर्ण तनुभृतं गोविंद गानामृत आनंदं बुद्धिवर्धने निपुनो कैवल्य निस्तारको वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेष मंडलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छ्रवत् भूत्वा दीन गणेश को करुणया कौपीन कंठाश्रितो गोपी भावरसामृताब्धलहरी कल्लोलमग्नो मुहुः वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको पूजत कोकिल हंस सारस गणा किरणे मयूराकुले नाना रत्न निबद्ध मूल विटप श्रीयुक्त वृंदावने राधा कृष्ण महार्निशं प्रभजतो जीवर्थ दोयो मुदा वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको संख्या पूर्वक नाम गान नत भी कालावसानी कृतो निद्राहार विहार कादि विजितो चत्यंत दीनो चयो राधा कृष्ण गुणा स्मृतिर्मधुरिमा नंदेन सम्मोहितो वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको राधा कुंड तटे कालिंदी तनया तीरे च वंशी वटे प्रेमो नाद वसाद शेष दशया ग्रस्तो प्रमत्तो सदा गायन्तो च कदा हरेर्गुणवरम् भावाभिभूतो मुदा वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको हे राधे व्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनो कुटा श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पादाप्तले कालिंदी वने कुता घोषन्तो इति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे हे देव महाविबलो Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī is known for one very outstanding Vaishnava quality. Who knows? Chaitanya Mahāprabhu taught 4 principles by 4 of his prominent associates. Anyone knows which principle is represented by Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī? Sannyasi Pandit Ganera Karite Gaur Nash Niche Shudra Dwara Karena Dharma Prakash. So Mahaprabhu smashed the pride of all these stalwarts who were in the Brahminical order or those who were claiming to be in the renounced order sannyas. Sannyasi Pandit Ganera Karite Garva Nash. He smashed their pride of their lineage or their high parentage or Brahmanic class. How? By Niche Shudra Dwara Karena Dharma Prakash. So what Prakash is done by Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī? Speak. You are hearing for so many years. What does Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī represent? Pranab Prabhu? Which Vaishnava quality he excels?
Renunciation, Prabhuji.
No. Wrong answer. Of course, he exhibits renunciation also, but there is one quality which he very outstandingly exhibits. That is the first quality which Krishna speaks as the item of knowledge. I have given you a very big hint. Now it is very evident. Amanitvam vadam hitvam ahimsa shantir arjavam. Humility. The first and the foremost quality required to be spiritually situated. Humility. And what is the tattva which he represents? Tolerance and forbearance is by Srila Haridas Thakur. And humility is exhibited by Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. Haridas Dwara Nama Mahatma Prakash Sanatana Dwara Bhakti Siddhanta Vilas Shri Rupa Dwara Brajera Prema Rasa Lila Ki Bhujite Par Gambhir Chaitanya Rakhela. So Bhakti Siddhanta Vilas. Sanatan Dwara Bhakti Siddhanta Vilas. Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī represents the foundation, the foundational principles of practicing devotional service. He is the Sambandhacharya. And today is also the Vyasadev's appearance. Srila Vyasadeva. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Satyavesh avatar to transmit the Vedic scriptures, the Vedic knowledge. But we do not celebrate this as Vyasa Puja. It's very important. None of the ISKCON devotees who are followers of Srila Prabhupada, we give respect to Vyasadeva because he is the one who disseminates the Vedic knowledge, the Vedic scriptures. But we do not celebrate today. I received one message from Manini Mataji. She is not there. Yeah. Once Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj inquired from Srila Prabhupada that today is the Vyasa Puja day, the Vyasadev's appearance, Guru Purnima. So Prabhupada says that every day we celebrate Guru Purnima by observing every day Guru Puja. Every day. In our ISKCON temple, it is not once in a year that the Guru is being worshipped or being respected. Rather, the Guru Vashakam prayer says, Dhyayanstu Vansyasya Yashastri Sangyam. Vande Guru Shri Charanara. So the Guru is to be worshipped every day 3 times. So we celebrate the Vyasa Puja of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, which is his appearance day. That is the Nandotsav day, the next day of Janmashtami. And for our respective Srila Prabhupada's disciple, our spiritual master, on their respective appearance day. I will not name the devotee who is in touch with us. Yesterday he called me. He told me that he wants to come with his family today to celebrate this Guru Purnima. So I explained to him that in our process of following Srila Prabhupada's process, we do not observe this Vyasa Puja or Guru Puja. We observe on the day of the appearance of our spiritual master. So he was quite convinced. And then he said that this is what we have known so far. If that is what, that is a ritual. But spiritual means whatever is being told by our Acharya. And as we follow, that is spiritual. To follow the spiritual personality, the empowered personality. The empowered personality for this age of preaching Krishna consciousness is Srila Prabhupada. And whoever follows Srila Prabhupada strictly, he is also spiritually elevated and spiritually connected. So today, we remember Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. We all know Sanātana Gosvāmī was very extraordinary, intelligent and sharp. He was so sharp, so intelligent. He was such a great scholar. He knew many, many languages. He knew Sanskrit, he knew Arabic, he knew Farsi, he knew Bangla, he knew many languages. And he was so expert that the Nawab, the Muslim ruler, selected and elected him to be the prime minister of his kingdom. Why? Because he knew if Sanatana and Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami was the prime minister. He was Shakar Malik. Malik means the Lord, Malik. So he was named as Shakar Malik, who was the prime minister of Nawab Hussain Shah. And if you even search, I once did that search, at the regime of Nawab Hussain Shah during 1580, the province of Bengal was the most prosperous in all parts of India. And the ruler was very, very powerful. The most powerful ruler regime at that time was by the Nawabs of Bengal. And Sanatana Goswami was the prime minister. And there is a great lineage to Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. Sanatana Goswami was born in the year 1488. He is contemporary to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Which year, Pradeep Prabhu? What is the birth year of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or his appearance? Quickly speak. Now you are dumbfolded. Quickly tell me. You know or you don't know?
1965.
Huh?
I don't know, Prabhu.
I don't know. See, this is the situation. Sarika, you are driving?
Prabhuji, back to Delhi. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, back to Delhi.
Acha, you did not come on Sunday.
Now today was my health was okay, so my father allowed me to go today only.
Lord Jagannath, special mercy on Sarika. Devashish is still under the way. He is also recovering. He is also still in his journey. He is still not reached. बताओ चैतन्य महाप्रभु का अपीयरेंस क्या है?
Prabhuji, I think it's 1486.
I am not asked Kana. I am not asked Kana. I am asking your mother. I know
Acha,
Kana.
Prabhuji, 1486. Prabhuji, he was excited.
बच्चे ने बता दिया ना.
But I know.
That's how you know. What is this sannyas here?
It is after 25 years. Ek second, Prabhuji.
Oh, you are wrong. It is not 25. It is 24. Anyway. So, after the appearance of 2 years of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī appears. And he appears in a Saraswat Brahmana family in Karnataka. And he studied under the guidance of Vidya Vachaspati. And he was so proficient, and from his very infancy, from his very childhood, he had special fascination for Srimad Bhagavatam. So much so that he even dreamt of studying Bhagavatam. The first time when he dreamt, he had a dream that one Brahmana came and gifted him a book. And when his dream was broken, he was searching for the Brahmana. And actually a Brahmana appeared and gifted him Srimad Bhagavatam. So from his very childhood, they were in Ramkeli, the place called Ramkeli, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited and accepted both of them, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, as his disciples, as his followers. So I will recite from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. In the morning, I had class in Gurgaon temple. So I recited from Antalila. That's a very beautiful class. If you have time, you hear the intimacy and the sweetness of Lord Chaitanya's relationship. Very special and unique relationship with Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. But now I will pick up from the Madhya Lila, 20th chapter, where the King Nawab Hussain Shah, Sanatana Goswami resigned. After meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami resigned from his post. And what happened? The Nawab was very furious. He imprisoned Sanatana Goswami. And let us see then what happens. How Sanatana Goswami escapes and he reaches the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what instruction Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives to Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. Very, very instructive, very inspirational. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is Madhya chapter 20. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Sanatana Goswami in the science of the absolute truth. This is also very mystical, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself instructed Sanatana Goswami one-to-one for 60 days. Nowhere has Mahaprabhu given so much of instruction to anyone in his entire lifespan, to the extent the fortune that was received by Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. Why? Because Sanatana Goswami was to be used to fulfill the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally taught him the science of Krishna consciousness and later ordered him to expand it and to present it in the form of his writings. It's a big chapter. Let us see how much we are able to do. The following summary of this chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrit Prava Bhashya, when Śrīla Sanātana Goswami was imprisoned by Nawab Hussain Shah. He received news from Rup Goswami that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Mathura. So before Sanatana Goswami was imprisoned, actually both of them, they had a plan. First, Srila Rup Goswami left. Rup Goswami was the finance minister. He left and he proceeded to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And after 10 months, Srila Sanatana Goswami, he stopped going to the court duties. He did not attend the court duties, the king duties. And what he gave an excuse that his health is not good. So one day the king, he sent his royal physician to the house of Sanatana Goswami to find out that what is his disease and how he can be cured to return back. But when the physician came, what he saw, that Sanatana Goswami was studying Srimad Bhagavatam with many scholars and Brahmanas. And he examined Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami's health was perfectly fine. So he went and reported to Nawab Hussain Shah that Sanatana Goswami, the Sakar Malik, there is nothing to treat for him. He is absolutely hale and hearty, he is fit and fine, but that he is very absorbed and busy in studying of Hindu scriptures. So he is not able to come. So the Nawab was so furious because he desperately wanted the services of Sanatana Goswami. Because he knew without the assistance of Sanatana Goswami, he could not rule. In fact, the Nawab was an extremist. He was always looking to conquer Odisha and other cities, other provinces. So he had given the entire responsibility of ruling to Sanatana Goswami. And he was busy in expanding his empire, in fighting the wars. So he wanted desperately the services of Sanatana Goswami, and when Sanatana Goswami did not turn up, so one day, without any information, the Nawab came to the house of Śrīla Sanātana Goswami. And when the Nawab landed up in the house of Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana welcomed him. Sanatana Goswami says, "You are Naradev. You are the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." That is his humility. So the Nawab said, "From tomorrow you have to come and resume your duty. I am going to war. I am going to annex Odisha. So in my absence, you handle the kingdom." And Sanatana Goswami says that, "My dear sir, I need your permission to be relieved of my duties. I can no longer perform this royal duties." So the Nawab became even more angered. And he immediately ordered his soldiers to capture Sanatana. This is what the demonic people is. As soon as you disagree with them, they will show their real swabhava. Example is of Kamsa. Kamsa, he was very happily carrying his sister on his marriage to the brother-in-law's place. But as soon as he heard that the son of his sister, Devaki, will become the cause of his death, immediately he pulled his sword to kill the same sister. So here also we see this Nawab Hussain Shah. He was a demoniac ruler. Of course, he was a Yavana. So when he came to know that Sanatana Goswami is not going to serve me, you better kill him or imprison him. If he cannot serve me, he cannot serve anyone else. But this foolish ruler was not knowing that Sanatana is not going to serve any mundane person. Sanatana is going to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Rakhe Krishna, Mare Ke, and Mare Krishna, Rakhe Ke. Very, very extraordinary way that Sanatana Goswami escaped with his very sharp intelligence. Kabiraj Goswami in Caitanya-caritāmṛta, he mentions that Raja Mantri Sanatan Buddhe Brahaspati. His intelligence was so sharp as of Brahaspati. Who is Brahaspati? He is the spiritual master of all the demigods in the heavenly planets. So quickly let us see how much we are able to go through. Manini Mataji, Hare Krishna, you are hearing?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हम आज व्यास पूजा नहीं मनाते, हम व्यास पूजा मनाते प्रभुपाद जी के आविर्भाव के दिन या गुरु महाराज के आविर्भाव के दिन। प्रभुपाद जी ने हमें यही शिक्षा दी है।
जी प्रभु जी।
ओके
ओके प्रभु जी।
When Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī was imprisoned by Nawab Hussain Shah, so Sanatana Goswami received news from Rupa Goswami that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Mathura. Sanatana Goswami thereafter satisfied the superintendent of the jail by sweet salutations and bribery. One has to be very practical. After giving the jailer 7,000 gold coins, see the bribery at that time, 500 years back, 7,000 gold coins. Sanatana Goswami and his servant then spent the night in a small hotel on the way to Varanasi, Banaras. The hotel owner knew that Sanatana Goswami and his servant had 8 gold coins, and he decided to kill them. So much of risk. One moment. Hare Krishna. See the amount of risk that these acharyas, this Goswami took at that time. They were not at all afraid of their own life. The entire Nawab's kingdom was against him to kill him. And when he escaped, there was this hotel owner who wanted to again kill him. Why? To take his money. Making plans in this way, the hotel owner received him as an honorable guest. Sanatana Goswami, however, asked his servant how much money he had. So he was a great diplomat. Immediately, Sanatana Goswami could read him and understand that why this person is giving so much of favors. And taking 7 of the gold coins, Sanatana offered them to the hotel owner. Thus, the owner helped them to cross the hilly tract and proceed towards Varanasi. On the way, Sanatana Goswami met his brother-in-law, Shrikant, at Hajipura. And Shrikant helped him after he had heard all about Sanatana's troubles. Thus, Sanatana Goswami finally arrived in Varanasi and stood before the door of Chandrasekhar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him and ordered him to change his dress so that he would look like a gentleman. For his garment, he used an old cloth of Tapan Mishra. Later, he exchanged his valuable blanket for a torn quilt. At this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased with him. Thank you. And thus, Sri Sanatana Goswami received knowledge of the absolute truth from the Lord himself. This is the price one has to pay to receive knowledge. It is not so cheap. What price did Arjuna pay to receive the knowledge of the absolute truth? Devadat, What price did Arjuna pay?
Prabhuji, he has to fight with all his family members.
You're very slow, very low. Volume is very less.
Prabhuji, he has to fight with all his family members and do
What
such
fight? He
a
had to kill his
bomb.
guru. He
Yes,
had to
Prabhuji.
kill his grandfather, Bhishma Dev. Not just fight. He had to kill his grandfather, Bhishma Dev, and he had to kill his martial art teacher, Guru Drona. And of course, what to speak of so many other relatives. And what price Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī had to give? Tyaktva turnamashesha mandalapati shrenim sadatu chavat. He had to give up the post of Prime Minister. What post position do we have? We are not willing to give up a penny. And we are thinking we will get the knowledge of the Supreme Absolute Truth. How foolish we are. We will never even see what price he had to pay. He had to risk and run for his life. So I will pick up when Sanatana Goswami has reached and he is meeting Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. This is for the second time after the escape. Okay. Kabe Varanasi Gosai Aila Kata Dine Suni Anandita Hoila Prabhura Gamane. After a few days, Sanatana Goswami arrived in Varanasi. After so much of troubles, after so much of tribulations, running, escaping, hiding, secretly, without food, without any shelter, he finally reached Varanasi. And he was very pleased to hear about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival there. Chandrasekhare Raghare Asi Dwarite Vashila Mahaprabhu Jani Chandrasekhare Kahila. So Sanatana Goswami then went to the house of Chandrasekhar and sat down by the door. Understanding what was happening, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Chandrasekhar. So Mahaprabhu is already inside the house of Chandrasekhar and Sanatana has reached and he is outside the house of Chandrasekhar. Dware ka Vaishnav hoya bola hata hare Chandrasekhar dekhi Vaishnav nahi ka dware. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is inside where he is staying in the house of Chandrasekhar. So Mahaprabhu calls Chandrasekhar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, there is a devotee at your door. Please call him in. Going outside, Chandrasekhar could not see a Vaishnava at his door. So Mahaprabhu from inside told Chandrasekhar that a Vaishnava has come, please bring him in. But when Chandrasekhar comes out, he does not see a Vaishnava. Dwarite Vaishnava nahi Prabhu kahila kya hoy kari Prabhu tahare puchila. When Chandrasekhar informed the Lord that no Vaishnava was at his door, the Lord asked him, is there anyone at all at your door? Very important. Who can recognize the Vaishnava? Not anyone and everyone. So when Chandrasekhar said there is no Vaishnava, then Mahaprabhu is further asking, is there anyone at all at your door? Teho kahe eka darveshe aiche dware tare ana prabhur vakya kahila tahare. Chandrasekhar replied, there is a Daravesh. Daravesh means one who is a Muslim mendicant, a Muslim beggar. How Muslim? Because his beards are big and long, his hairs are parted, and he has a typical Muslim look. So Teho kahe eke Daravesh ache dware. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately said, please bring him here. Chandrasekhar then spoke to Sanatana Goswami, who was still sitting beside the door. प्रभु तोमाय बोलाया ऐसा दरवेशा सुनी आनंद सनातन करेला प्रवेशा. Oh Muslim mendicant, please come in. The Lord is calling you. Sanatana Goswami was very pleased to hear this order, and he entered Chandrasekhar's house. Tahare angane dekhi Prabhu dhan aila, tare alingane khari prema vishta hoila. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Sanatana Goswami in the courtyard, he immediately went up to him with great haste. After embracing him, the Lord was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Prabhu sparsi prema vishta hoila sanatana more nachi niha kahe gadagad vachana. So this meeting of Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reminds me of another meeting. The meeting between Lord Krishna and Sudama. When as soon as Krishna heard that Sudama has come, what he did? He ran. He ran in haste from his inner chambers of his palace to the door of Dwarika to receive, welcome and embrace his lost friend Sudama. And when they met, Krishna drenched him. Krishna submerged him with his tears. Similarly, as soon as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got the first sight of Sanatana, Mahaprabhu hastily rushed to the courtyard and very tightly embraced Sanatana. Prabhu sparsi prema vishta hoila sanatana more nachu niha kahe gada gada vachana. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana was also overwhelmed with ecstatic love. In a faltering voice he said, "Oh my Lord, do not touch me." Dujane gala gali rodana apa Dekhi Chandrasekhara Oila Chamatkar. Shoulder to shoulder, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami began to cry unlimitedly. Chandrasekhar was very much astonished to see this. No one else can know. This is the amalgamation, the union of the soul with the super soul. And both of them are very profusely shedding tears. And when Chandrasekhar saw this, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so much of oceanic flow is coming from his eyes, and he is holding Sanatana so tight, he was amazed, he was shocked, he was surprised. What is this? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is embracing? Okay, he's embracing, but why is he crying? For whom? This is a Muslim beggar. This is what the Dwarkavasis were saying. Why Krishna is crying? Whom is he embracing? A beggar? Sudama? Skinny? Completely in rags? Same way this union is there of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. तबे प्रभु तारा हाथा धरे लाया गेला पिंडर उपारी अपन पासे बशाइला. Catching his hand. Whose hand? Sanatana's hand. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Sanatana Goswami inside and made him sit on an elevated place next to him. Shri haste kare na tare ange samarjana Teho kahe more Prabhu na kare sparshana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began cleaning Sanatana Goswami's body with his own transcendental hand, just imagine. Have you seen a calf when the calf is born. Have you seen a calf? When the calf is born, what does the cow does? How does the cow cleans the calf? बोलो यार, तुम लोग मुंह में जबान नहीं है क्या?
Prabhuji, licking.
By licking, Prabhuji, licking.
Licking. By her own mouth, she cleans all the dirty things. And what Caitanya Mahaprabhu is doing here? Sei haste samarjana. By his own hand, he was cleaning the dirt from the body of. Just imagine someone who has been running for his life for months, and who was against him? Who was behind him? The king of Bengal, Nawab Hussain Shah. So what would have gone through? What he would have gone through in his life? So Mahaprabhu knew everything. And he was dressed how? He was dressed as if like a Muslim beggar, so that he could not be recognized. And Mahaprabhu, after meeting him, not just embracing him, Mahaprabhu cleaning Sanatana Gosvāmī's body with his own transcendental hand. Sanatana Gosvāmī said, "Oh my Lord, please do not touch me." Why? प्रभु कहे तोमा स्पर्शी आत्मा पवित्रिते भक्ति बले पारे तुम्ही ब्रह्मांड शोधिते. So Sanatana was feeling very, very embarrassed that he is so unclean, he is so dirty, he is in such a rest condition, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is touching him. And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is feeling after he touches Sanatana Gosvāmī? The Lord replied, "I am touching you just to purify myself." Tomas Parshi Atma Pavitrite. I am touching you just to purify myself, because by the force of your devotional service, Bhakti Bale Pare Tumi Brahmanda Shodite, you can purify the whole universe. Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Hare Jane Jane. This is the potency, the purity of Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī, which is empowered by none other than personally by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That he has the potency to purify the entire universe. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that after I embrace you, Sanatana, if I touch you, I get the bala, I get the strength. What is the strength? The strength that you have of devotional service. Does the Supreme Lord require any strength? But yes, he is very much anxious. He is very much always desiring to have the strength of his devotees by his side. Not ordinary devotees. Devotees like Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. Such a pure personality. He is saying that you can purify the whole universe. Habadvida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Prabhu Tirtha Kurvanti Tirthani Swanathastena Gadabhrita. Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage. Because of their purity, they are the constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. Very important. Such saintly persons, when they come to the place of pilgrimage, when they go to dhams, or when they go to the auspicious place, that place becomes sanctified. The potency of that place becomes multiplied. Whose verdict is this? This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyone knows who is speaking to whom? Here, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Sanatana Gosvāmī, but originally this verse is spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam. Who is speaking to whom? Anyone knows? This is Yudhishthira Maharaj speaking to Vidurji. When Vidurji returns back to the kingdom. Name bhaktas chaturvedi mad bhakta swapacha priya tasmai devam tato graya sacha pujyo yatachaha. Lord Krishna said, even though a person is very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literature, he is not accepted as my devotee. So not knowing Sanskrit is no disqualification, unless he is pure in devotional service. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog eaters, he is very dear to me if he is pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activity or mental speculation. Indeed, all respect should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted. Such devotees are as worshipable as I am. So why it is being said? Because Sanatan was in a very wretched condition as a Muslim beggar. But that is external. What is internal is his surrender, his sacrifice for the Lord. He sacrificed everything. Vipradvisad gunayuta darvinda nabha padaravind mukta swapacham varishtikam manyatad arpita mano vachanena athiratha pranam puneti sakula natu bhuri mana. One may be born in a Brahmana family and have all 12 Brahmanical qualities. But if one is not devoted to the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna, who has the navel shaped like a lotus, what is the word? Arvinda Nabha. Very beautiful. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, but here it is saying it is Arvinda Nabha. The navel of the Lord is lotus-like. He is not as good as a Chandala who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth and life to the service of the Lord. So what we have to dedicate? Dedicate mind, words, activities as the mansa, vacha, karmana. But along with that, our wealth and life. Simply to take birth in a Brahmana family or to have a Brahmanical quality is not sufficient. One must become a pure devotee. What is pure devotee? Who is dedicating mansa, vacha, karmana, his dhanam and his prana. If a swapacha or a chandal is a devotee, he delivers not only himself but his whole family. Whereas a brahmana who is not a devotee but simply has brahmanical qualification cannot even purify himself. What to speak of his family? This is again from Srimad Bhagavatam. Now comes the point. What is the position of Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī? Mahāprabhu says, Toma dekhi toma sparshi gaye tomar guna sarvendriya phalai shastra nirupana. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Sanatan, by seeing you, toma dekhi, toma sparshi, by touching you, gaye tomar guna, and by glorifying your transcendental qualities, one can perfect the purpose of all sense activities. Sarvendriya phala. This is the verdict of the revealed scriptures. Akshno phalam tvadarsha darshanam hi tano phalam tvadarshat sangha jiva phalam tvadarsha kirtanam hi Sudurlabha Bhagavata iha loke. Akshna phalam. Akshna means the eyes. And phalam means the perfection or the result. So what is the perfection of the eyes or the vision of the eyes? Tvadarsha darshanam. is to have the audience of a personality like you, Sanatan. So today my eyes have become perfect. My dear Vaishnava, seeing a person like you is the perfection of one's eyesight. Then Tano Phalam. Tano means the body. So what is the perfection of the body? Tvadarsh Gatva Sangraha is to get the embrace or to touch the body of a Vaishnava. Where do we touch the body of a Vaishnava? Normally the feet. But the Vaishnava is elevated. So touching your lotus feet is the perfection of the sense of touch. Please do not mistake it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not saying that he wants to touch the feet of Sanatana Gosvāmī. Then there will be a tattva bheda. It is never that the Ishvara will touch the feet of his devotee. Even though if he agrees, but the devotee, the surrendered devotee will never agree. But what Mahaprabhu is meaning, that is why Mahaprabhu was saying, Toma Sparshi, Toma Dekhi. So how much Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had love for Sanatana Gosvāmī that he is saying that the perfection of my body is to constantly embrace you, not to embarrass you. Where is the embarrassment? In touching the feet. The Supreme Lord, a devotee cannot think of it. Yes, in some cases it is there. In which case there is an exception? Very beautiful composition is there by Śrīla Jayadev Goswami. Dehi Pad Pallava Udara. Got it? Where is that Dehi Pad Pallava Udara? Krishna is trying to convince Srimati Radharani. And he's saying that you please place your lotus feet. Dehi Pad Pallava Udara. On my head. Jayadev Goswami is writing about it. So Jayadev Goswami became very, very disturbed. He said, how is it possible that anyone else can place the lotus feet, whatever lotus it may be, on the head of the Supreme Lord? So here the perfection of one's body is to embrace the devotee. So whenever we meet, we should try and embrace what happened. Why it is not sharing? Yeah. And Jiva Phalam to Darsha Kirtanami. What is the perfection of the sense of tongue? Glorifying your good qualities is the tongue's real activity. Why? Sudurlabha Bhagavata Ihaloke. For in this material world, it is very difficult to find a pure devotee of Lord. Such is the position of Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. So much so that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always keen and eager and desiring to have association with Sanatana Gosvāmī. Eta kahi kahe Prabhu suna Sanatana Krishna bada dayamay patita pavana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, my dear Sanatan, please hear from me. Krishna is very merciful and he is the deliverer of all fallen souls. Maharav hoite toma karila udha kripara samudra Krishna gambhira upar. That's the first instruction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. What Mahaprabhu is saying, that Krishna is very kind upon you, Sanatan. How and why? Because my dear Sanatan, Krishna has saved you from Maharav. Raurav is a name of the hell, life's deepest hell. He is the ocean of mercy and his activities are very grave. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say to Sanatan that Krishna has saved you from Raurav? What is Raurav? That position of prime ministership is Raurav. Got it? We should never ever try and serve such person, those who are demoniac. If we serve such demons, so they will go to hell, and because we have served you will also go to hell. So never accept an employer or an owner who is Himalayan, who is not a devotee of the Lord. Never accept any financial assistance or help or salary from such people. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that Krishna is very kind. Sanatan, where were you going? You were going to the path of hell. And which hell? Not ordinary hell. Raura. So be very, very clear. Don't run and chase money. Because money will mean Raura. And Mahaprabhu is not going to personally come and rescue us like Sanatana Gosvāmī. So he's already warning us. He's already educating us. Sanatan kahe Krishna ami nahi jani. Very beautiful. Sanatan kahe Krishna ami nahi jani. Amare udare hetu tomara kripa mani. Sanatan replied, I do not know who Krishna is. As far as I am concerned, I have been released from prison only by your mercy. Ke mana chutila bali Prabhu prasan koila. Adyopana sabha katha keno sunaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked Sanatana Gosvāmī how you were released from prison. Sanatana then described the story from beginning to end. Prabhu kahe tomar dui bhai prayage milila. Rupa anupama dohe Vrindavan gela. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I met your two brothers, Rupa and Anupa, at Prayag. They have now gone to Vrindavan. Tapanam Shrera Chandrasekharera Prabhu Agya Sanatana Milila Dohara. By the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Gosvāmī met both Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar. Chandrasekhar is the host where Mahaprabhu is staying in Varanasi. And anyone knows who is Tapan Mishra? Let me see how much Chaitanya Leela are you hearing with attention. Who is Tapan Mishra? And where are they meeting? Yes, Sonika, where are they meeting?
Prabhuji, at East Bengal they meet.
No, now where are they meeting?
Varanasi, Prabhuji.
Yes, Varanasi. And who is Tapan Mishra? You were right. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu toured the East Bengal, there was this Brahmana, Tapan Mishra. He came and inquired from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that what is the supreme absolute truth. There is another very famous personality which is associated with Tapan Mishra. Yes, Ravindra Prabhu. Boliye.
No, Prabhuji. He was the father of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami.
Yes, very good. Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Yugo, Raghunath Das and Raghunath Bhatt. So Tapan Mishra is the father of Raghunath Bhatt. So at the time of being in Varanasi, there was another Goswami. Which Goswami? Raghunath Bhatt. But in his infancy, he was very young. So his father is Tapan Mishra, and along with him, Raghunath Bhatt is also there. So what to do? I have to stop. It is 9:10, but we will continue tomorrow. Is that okay? We can discuss the teaching of Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī all over our life. Just imagine. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exclusively gave him 60 complete days for giving the teachings. And Kaviraj Goswami has very elaborately described it in Caitanya-caritāmṛta. There's 5 chapters from Madhya Lila, chapter 20 till chapter 25. 6 chapters. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25. 6 chapters. If anyone has understood the sixth chapter, there is nothing else to know. Everything in the philosophy is crystal clear to you. The entire philosophy and the tattva of Krishna consciousness is explained personally by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī. No one else got that opportunity. Like Arjuna received the very special favor of Krishna, that Krishna personally selected him to deliver the Bhagavad Gita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu selected Sanātana Gosvāmī. So we will continue tomorrow. Is that okay? Yes, no, क्या है?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, someone wants to say something? Sanātana Gosvāmī is glorified. Today is the day. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that the perfection of my tongue is to glorify you, Sanatana. The perfection of my eyes is to have your audience. The perfection of my body is to have your embrace, your touch. Bolo. सनातन गोस्वामी के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोलना है. We should be eager to glorify the Vaishnavas. Such acharyas like Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Shad Goswami, they are the heart. They are the heart and soul of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, they should be.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī is so special, like Lord Krishna selected Arjuna to give the signs of Krishna consciousness. So he's so special that Lord Chaitanya himself selected Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī to teach the signs of Krishna consciousness.
But why only him? See the sacrifice? To love means to serve. And to serve means to sacrifice.
Right.
What he sacrificed? His post, his wealth, everything. Everything he just left behind. Why? Because he heard the call of his heart. That his Lord is calling. And we went to Jagannath Puri. We were not exposed to the sun much. But there the sun is very scorching. And once it happened that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Sanatana Goswami during the daytime, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Yameshwar Tota. And Sanatana Goswami went through the walkway of the beach, sandy beach. And when he reached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, Sanatan, which way have you come? And Sanatana Goswami said, I have come through the way of the sea, the beach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, how did you come? The sand was burning. What about your feet? And Sanatana Goswami says, I didn't feel the heat. Mahaprabhu says, show me your legs, show me your feet. And when Sanatan raises his feet are burned. But he was so much in absorption of meeting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he did not notice what has happened to his feet. That is the absorption he had in his heart. So that is the reason why Sanatana Goswami was selected by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Many, many glories are there. In the morning, I was very satisfied because I found one section of Caitanya-caritāmṛta at the Antalila, how much Mahaprabhu has glorified Sanatana Goswami. Mahaprabhu used to glorify with his own mouth as if he has 5 mouths. Hare Krishna. Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī Tirobhav Titi Maha Mahotsav ki Jai Shri Chaitanya ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.